Hello everyone, so this is me Aditya and here I am again talking about animes, light novels, web novels, etc. So as in the last video I was talking about the various cultivation novels, the Korean system novels, etc. So today I thought, well, why not recommend a few of them to you? There are a ton of cultivation novels, okay? We can talk about this day in and day out and they won't end. But here are a few that I will recommend to you if you really want to get into it. So the first one I'll be recommending you is Martial World. I won't be spoiling it, but let's just talk about the premise here, okay? So there's a cube, a divine cube, okay? And divine beings have fought over it in the divine realm. And now it's lost. And here in the mortal realm is our main protagonist. And he gets this cube somehow. Now, this story is his journey of being a martial artist. How he becomes the martial god at the end of the path. This is his story. The next one I'll be recommending you is Desolate Era. Now, this is my personal favorite. I read it completely and more than once. Okay, so this is a special one for me. So in this novel, our main protagonist is Genie, and the premise is that he was basically a resident of Earth, right? And he got a disease in his early days of life, and he died due to that. Now, in the afterlife, he got a chance to reincarnate in a cultivation world, and this is where the story begins. Now, there is some plot twist in this after death part, but I won't be spoiling to you again because this is for you to know. Another one is Calling Dragon. Well, not one of my favorites, but yeah, it is for many. So, the third one I'll be recommending you is Crazy Leveling System. Now, I know it's not a famous one, and nor is it reviewed highly, but still, it was my starting novel in the Chinese cultivation world. Okay, I started with this Crazy Leveling System, and so it is one of the best for me, even though I haven't completed it yet. So it starts with a boy named Yi Tian Yun. Yi Tian Yun. Okay, so he has some problems and he cannot cultivate. Now, as a side note, in every cultivation novels, there is a concept of cultivation, right? Cultivation is basically a group of levels, right? You start with being a mortal, a human, and your goal is to become an immortal, basically a god. Now, this is a separate genre in Chinese web novels called Xianxia, right? So, here our main protagonist cultivates to become basically immortal. That's the end goal, right? Now, in this novel, our protagonist cannot cultivate. Okay, so now this is his story, how he's able to cultivate and then how much he's able to cultivate. Okay, again, not spoiling to you, you have to check it out by yourself. Now, as I was talking about cultivation, let me get into it in a bit deeper details. Okay, now cultivation is basically a group of levels that the main protagonist follows to become an immortal. Now there is another genre called Xuanhuan where immortality isn't basically the end goal. You just have to become strong. Okay, with each level you become strong. One of the great novels to read in this genre is Versatile Mage. Okay, it has a manhwa as well, and it has a great cultivation novel. It's one of my favorite as well, Versatile Mage. Okay, check it out. These are basically power leveling novels. They go through different levels. So, for example, in most of the cultivation novels, there are levels called the martial artist, then Hotian, then Xiantian, and then it goes on. Okay, so martial artist is basically when a man tempers his own body. There is skin tempering, then there is muscle tempering, bone tempering, viscera tempering, meridians tempering, and meridians opening, I guess. These six or more than six. But it's around the same in most of the novels. Okay. Then there is the Hotian state. Now, Hotian state, you can only break through to this level when your body is free of impurities. Okay. Then comes the Xiantian state. Now, there are levels in Hotian state as well. In some, there is a sub level of 10 between the Xiantian state. In others, there's a early Hotian, mid, late, and then peak, and then you break through to the Xiantian state. In Xiantian state, you can basically use soul powers. Okay, there's a divine sea basically in your head that opens up. In the Hotian state, there's a Dantian. Okay, now you can absorb ki from the atmosphere and store it there. And the Xiantian, it relates to the soul power. So, as I was recommending the novels, there are basically a ton of them. Okay, I cannot really talk about a lot of them, but there are a few that are really good and you should check it out.